You have spent most of your life being grasped by things that do not deserve to hold you. Opinions, expectations, digital hands, reaching for pieces of your attention. Every day, the world tries to clutch you like a fist trying to capture wind. Yet the wind is never caught. It brushes past, it moves on, it remains itself. And somewhere inside you, a part of you has always known that this is the nature you were meant to return to, the calm, ungraspable force that refuses to be owned. But you forgot. You became reactive. You allowed the noise of the crowd to pull you in, like a merchant trying to sell you emotions you do not need. Pain acquired you. People tugged at your identity. And every time you responded, you were giving them a piece of your inner sovereignty. You began to mistake your sensitivity for depth, unaware that sensitivity without discipline becomes a cage. There is a quiet paradox. Musashi lived without ever naming, being fully present yet unreachable. He stood in the center of conflict, with an intensity so calm that no one could seize his emotional state. He was there, but no part of him could be dragged away, and this is the first step toward becoming emotionally untouchable, learning to exist as wind exists, sensed but never seized, witnessed but never owned. You must understand the difference between numbness and untouchability. Numbness is hollow. Untouchability is full. Numbness is a deadened heart. Untouchability is a disciplined one. When you numb yourself, you shrink. When you become wind-like, you expand beyond reach. Picture yourself walking through a marketplace of noise. Each stall calls your name. Each vendor waves the price of your attention. Yet you move like quiet air, slipping through their grasp without a single hook catching your spirit. This is the beginning of your rebirth, the moment you stop being grabbable. There is a surface inside you, the part that reacts first, breaks first, trembles first. It is the storm layer. Most men live their entire lives trapped there, thrashing in waves that were never meant to define them. Stress hits, and they rise to panic. An insult lands, and they rise to anger. Pressure arrives, and they rise to chaos. They rise because they never learned to sink. But beneath every storm is depth, unmoving, untouched, unbothered. Emotional mastery is not built on the surface. It is forged in the silent pressure below it, where storms lose their voice. The modern man has forgotten this. He confuses intensity with strength, believing that loud emotions mean a powerful heart. Yet true strength is quiet. True strength is slow. True strength is the disciplined descent into the stillness. Beneath reaction, Musashi understood this with an almost frightening clarity. Do nothing that is of no use, he taught. And most of your emotional reactions are exactly that, useless expenditure. Your fear of someone's opinion, your resentment toward a small inconvenience, your need to prove something to someone weaker than you. None of it serves your path, yet you pay for them with your peace. To become emotionally untouchable, you must learn the art of sinking inward before reacting outward. You must feel the wave rise, and instead of letting it whip you into motion, you descend below it. Let the surface shake. You are no longer living there. Imagine a warrior standing at the ocean's edge. He once tried to measure each wave, judge each one, prepare for the next attack. But the day he became the ocean instead of the observer, the waves no longer ruled him. They moved, but he remained. Your storms will continue. Life will not offer you calm, but calmness is irrelevant to the man who has become depth itself. The world can rage above you, yet you stay untouched beneath it. Every day, the world tests your edges. Some people do it intentionally. Most do it unconsciously, but all of them serve the same purpose. They reveal how easily you can be bent. A comment, a delay, a rejection, a challenge. These are not obstacles. They are what, and each one asks the same question. Do you flinch? A reactive man swings before he sees. He moves before he thinks. He loses himself before the moment even begins. Musashi defeated countless opponents, not by overpowering them, but by refusing to be rushed by their provocation. He let them waste energy on impulsive attacks while he stood unmoved, watching, choosing, deciding. His blade was not merely sharp, it was steady. There is a sacred moment in your life, one you've overlooked 1,000 times. It is the pause between stimulus and response. Most men never enter it. They sprint from feeling to reaction, from trigger to collapse. But emotional untouchability is born in that pause. It is the hinge between weakness and strength, where you decide whether the world will break you or sharpen you. The modern world does not want you to pause. It thrives on your impulsiveness. Notifications demand that you react instantly. Messages expect immediate replies. Outrage culture insists you choose a side before you even understand the situation. Everything is urgent. Everything is provocative. Everything is designed to bend you. But the blade that bends to every strike grows dull. The blade that refuses to move remains eternal. Picture a sword standing upright in the center of a crowded arena. Thousands shout, provoke, gesture, attempt to shake it, but it remains vertical, untouched by the chaos. This is the man who has mastered the pause. This is the man who has become unflinching. You are not here to be softened by the world's noise. You are here to become the blade that does not waver. And when you stop bending, the world stops trying to break you. There is a kingdom inside you. Though you have spent most of your life allowing intruders to walk through it, their judgments entered without permission. Their moods dictated the weather of your mind. Their desires rearranged the architecture of your priorities. You built walls for them, not for yourself. Emotional untouchability is not an attitude, it is architecture. It is the construction of internal sovereignty, one brick of discipline at a time. Ancient warriors fortified their minds long before they fortified their camps. They understood a brutal truth. A man who does not govern himself will be governed by anything. Your boundaries are not barriers to keep the world out. They are structures that keep your identity intact. Solitude is not isolation. It is the throne room where you reclaim your crown. And self-possession is not selfishness. It is the recognition that no one should have more influence over your inner world than you do. To become untouchable, you must cut ties with emotional parasites, not with anger, not with explanation, but with clarity. Anyone who feeds on your attention, your validation, your vulnerability, or your time without returning strength is draining the fortress from within. Let them go, quietly, completely, without ceremony. Imagine your inner life as a citadel carved into a mountain. Its gates do not open because someone knocks loudly. They open because you choose. They open on your timing, your terms, your intention. And if someone arrives with chaos, those gates remain closed. This chapter of your life requires a quieter pride, the pride of a man who finally understands the value of what he guards. Your peace, your center, your focus. These are treasures. They deserve walls. They deserve gates. They deserve a king who protects them. That king is you. There is a danger in always being accessible. When your emotions are always online, the world learns your patterns. It learns your weaknesses. It learns how to pull you. Predictability is exposure, and exposure invites manipulation. To be emotionally untouchable, you must become a presence that cannot be mapped. Musashi never allowed others to read his rhythm. He would disappear for long stretches, then reappear without announcement, moving like a force that answered only to itself. This was not avoidance, it was strategy. A man who is always visible becomes easy to strike. A man who is selectively present becomes impossible to influence. You must learn to withdraw without guilt, not as an escape, but as an assertion of power. When you step back, you reclaim your emotional breath. You break the world's assumption that it owns your responses. You remind yourself that your attention is not a public resource. It is a scarce element of your strength. Scarcity creates value. Presence becomes power only when absence becomes a discipline. Picture a warrior walking through a dense fog. He does not announce where he is. He does not explain where he goes. He appears only when he chooses to appear, and when he does, the space shifts around him. There is mystery in his timing, and mystery is a kind of shield. Being unavailable is not about hiding. It is about choosing. Choosing when to give your energy. Choosing when to speak. Choosing when to show up. The man who controls his presence controls his emotional destiny. Let the world wonder where you are. You are not vanishing. You are simply no longer offering yourself to chaos on demand. Most men suffer not because they are weak, but because their hearts are full of hooks. Hooks of validation. Hooks of comparison. Hooks of approval. Hooks of wanting to be chosen, noticed, understood. These hooks do not seem dangerous at first, but they give the world something to pull. Every time someone else's opinion hurts you, it's because a hook was waiting. Every time rejection wounds you, it's because a hook was already attached. Every time comparison steals your peace, it's because you built the hook yourself. Musashi lived with a kind of radical detachment that most modern men never experience. Not numbness, detachment. The ability to want less so that nothing could be used against him. The ability to need nothing from those who could not offer anything real. The ability to walk away from anyone or anything that tried to claim ownership over his identity. To become emotionally untouchable, you must learn to remove the hooks one by one. Want less, need less, chase less. When you no longer seek external approval, you cannot be insulted. When you no longer crave praise, you cannot be manipulated. When you no longer fear losing people, you cannot be controlled by them. The more you empty your heart of unnecessary attachments, the more ungrippable you become. Imagine a smooth stone resting in a river. Water rushes around it, but no hand can hold it. No claw can grasp it. Nothing can stick to it. It simply exists, complete in its form, untouched by the current, trying to clutch it. You are meant to become that stone. Simple in your desires, clean in your motives, free in your identity. And when the world tries to pull you, it finds nothing to grab. At the end of this journey, you arrive at a truth that most men never reach. Emotional untouchability is not the absence of feeling, but the presence of sovereignty. It is the moment you stop outsourcing your inner world. The moment you realize that freedom is not given, it is claimed. Musashi mastered the sword only because he mastered himself first. His victories were not born from aggression, but from awareness. He knew his mind the way a craftsman knows his tools, with patience, respect, and ruthless honesty. And this is where you stand now, on the threshold of a rebirth that begins not in your circumstances, but in your identity. You are no longer the reactive man, pulled by every insult, every distraction, every ripple of emotion around you. That version of you has already died. What stands here now is a quieter force, a man who carries himself without seeking permission, without seeking validation, without seeking refuge in the opinions of others. Your new path is one of quiet power, not the loud resistance of a man trying to prove something, but the silent certainty of a man who has nothing left to defend. You move differently. You choose differently. You exist with a steadiness that others feel before they understand. Imagine yourself walking into the dawn. Behind you lie the remnants of the man you used to be, the hooks, the reactivity, the noise, the storms. Ahead of you stretches a horizon, untouched by the hands that once tried to pull you back. You step forward with no need to look over your shoulder. The past cannot grip a man who has removed every place to hold him. Emotional untouchability is not an escape from life. It is the fullest entry into it. It is the warrior's final evolution, the man who owns himself completely. And now, as the light rises, so do you. Not as wind running from grasping hands, but as the dawn itself, unreachable, unstoppable, and entirely your own.